Wait a few minutes today before we open up the medicine cabinet. You know, right now here at the G building, we got VC Realm, Divine Truth, Waju, Malik Low, Shaolin Gods, Divine Be Wisdom, Knowledge of Law, Light Visible, Waju. Yeah, everybody should be getting, except for I got to work on that design. That's my fault. Joe Self is the only person who his order is still caught up. But yeah, everybody else that made a recent order, your stuff should be there either today or tomorrow. Good brother Divine, you know what I'm saying? So today I guess we'll chew right in. Well, let's open up the medicine cabinet over here first. You know, this is always, I'm always a little bit cautious because we know how the medicine cabinet gets. But they sending us through right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the people on Facebook. We got the link posted over there as well. You know, A Large Fruit over here, at A Large Fruit on Instagram, Darkim Be Allah Christ here on YouTube. But yeah, today, you know, this is one of them things, right? A couple years ago, I learned a lesson. Like every year, I try to learn a lesson. You know what I mean? Like last year, the lesson was, nah, I haven't seen it all yet. You know what I mean? Like last year, I saw some things for the very first time. You know, even on tape. You know what I mean? Hold on for a second. You know, but so yeah, like I was saying, a few years ago, one of the lessons that I learned was that you know, things that you think you might not need to say, like, you know how some things seem so obvious to you, right? They seem so obvious to you that you would think, you know, being that I'm not dealing with a child, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, I'm dealing with somebody who, you know, any other time they speak to me, they deal with high signs. So I would think that I wouldn't have to tell you this thing that appears to be so obvious. What I've learned is, no, you have to, you gotta say that. You gotta say that. So in this instance, you know, an experience that I had over the weekend, it led me to see that, you have to explain to people that see the words is the easy part. And see, you can go down the list, right, of where the words have to be used, right? Like, see, quoting 120 lessons, that's the easy part. You first come into the knowledge, and before you get involved with certain things, you think, yeah, brothers is giving you a hard time. See, that's already, you kind of tell who's doing what when the person feels like, yo, you coming at them because you asking them some degrees or something, or, you know what I'm saying, you building about something, whatever it is y'all building on, y'all discussing, and this individual is like, yo, man, our brothers always, coming, yo, man. See, that's because you ain't really get to the hard part yet. See, when you really get to the hard part, then you begin to appreciate those fundamentals. See, when you see somebody that's real good at something, they always talking about those first days when they was learning their lessons and how the trials and tribulations, the trials and tribulations that they had to go through in order to get on the first rung of the ladder is something that is appreciated now. Is something that's appreciated now. You see what I'm saying? See, that's after you've learned that the words is the easy part. You see what I'm saying? See, when your parents and shit is they yelling at you and they talking all this shit, right? That seems like it's the whole problem. That's your problem. Is that this person right here keeps running their mouth. You see? But then when you get out into life, right, and you start experiencing the things of the lessons that they was trying to give you, right, and you start seeing that you should have listened, that's when you learn another time that the words is the easy part. You see, let me tell you another place, man. Where I've seen, over the years, probably hundreds, right? Probably hundreds of people I've seen not understand this and fall victim. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question right here, just to see if we all on the same page, right? Here's a question. When does your word become bond? That's an open question to them. I want to see the answers to that. When does your word become bond? All right. Supreme Islam, Khalif Asil, your little name change in there. Divine Understanding, 793rd. For a few more answers. Yeah, right. See, Malik Lowe said, when, playing basketball, right, and learning how to split through the track with his left hand in the 7th grade, he's thinking, yo, the coach is giving him a hard time because, yeah, that's the type of thing we'll see, because you're going to float to your right. And then the coach is going to say, nah, run it again, run the play again. run the play again every time you fuck it up. You see what I mean? And it seemed tough until you get against that team. Until you get against that team, and then you learn. See, if you didn't pay attention and they keep stealing the ball from you, then you'd be like, damn, son, I got to get better with my left. You know what I mean? Or you get into that situation where you cutting their ass and you like, damn, coach, yo, son, I'm glad you taught me that, son. You even say him now. So I'm glad I thought of that. I'm glad I thought, you know what I'm saying? When I figured out how to split that trap, that's when I got nice. So that's how you think. So we got a few answers here now of when does your word become bond, right? So Divine God says, as soon as you say it, Nas, as I said, when bond is your life. Divine Truth said it should have always been. It shouldn't take 120 lessons for this to become a reality. That's a good point. Where you at? Shaquem came in. Joseph said, word is bond, talks about what have you done. Divine Understanding said, word is bond when it coincides with your actions. Malik Low said, as soon as you give your word, because you should think before you give said word. See, yeah, these are some great answers, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, they're all right. You know what I'm saying? It actually shows me that I should have asked my question a little bit clearer. You know what I'm saying? I should have asked my, see, when does the responsibility of you placing your word come into play? See, because, you know, whether you accomplish the thing or not, see, when you place your word, that's when it's already born. It's not like, look, see, right after I say this right here, like, hold up, I'm gonna tell you one last thing, right? And then after that, my word is gone. Everything I say after that, word is gone. But see, when we was in the G building, you know what I'm saying? Everything we was saying in there was bond. But, you know, we outside now on the corner. Now, see, as soon as you make it manifest, right, word is bond. And see, what I've seen happen, man, you know, to people, right, is without understanding that, you get in a conversation, right, and you take on responsibilities. You start agreeing with things. Without realizing that you just place your word as bond. Christopher Gooden, Shaquem, Mr. Spock, Amon Gilchrist. You see, as soon as you said that, you replace your word as bond. See, that's why it's good to be a humble man and live a simple life. See, in some worlds, it's called biting off more than you can chew. You in a simple way for your word to stay bond, shut the fuck up. Keep your mouth shut, son. That's another thing what it means, man, knowledge before wisdom. Shut the fuck up. See, because people is paying attention. And nobody's going to be thinking, oh, well, see, well, when you said that, when you said that, word was bond. But, you know, that was 6 months ago. Nah. See, in everything you do, speaking mathematically, you said, that's why when you ask, how do you show and prove, I said, to live it without succeeding from the path, that's keeping my word bond to what I know, facts regardless to whom or what. I mean, there's that aspect, but there's also the aspect where, look, see, just for the jump off, see, when you come out and you say your name is Allah, when you come out and you say you the 5%, see, that's your word. Your word don't mean, look, I told you I'm gonna do this. I promise I'm gonna meet you here on this day at this time. No, when you said you was that, I was one. And see, in every cipher you go in, right, you got to understand the gravity of that cipher. You got to understand, says, look, word is bond to the universe. So you can lie to me. Don't think you're going to just get away with that. A lot of times, positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? You could help somebody, right? You could help somebody, you just was helping that person. That person might just say thank you. That's, they might don't have that, but then somebody else might help you. Same way as negative. You could do something to somebody, right? And then something happened to you and you realize that, yo, something? This is for all the shit I've been doing. If you wise, you're gonna see that. That word is bond to the universe. That's, the universal scales, right? It's going self-balance. You see, at the same time, do not neglect to pay attention to the people you around when you place your word. See, because we could all see that from the speakers, but you better also realize that about the people that's receiving that word, that there's some people, right, that your word cannot be bond. And, they might talk about you. They might bring that up in a time when you don't want it to come up. Like, yeah, this thing over here is lying, right? You see, other ciphers you go in, man, and they will make a decision on what they want the penalty to be for your word not being bond. See, a lot of it is just about the consistency of you recalling what you said. You see, like I said, this ain't about, tell a lie and God strike me down. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, if we, whatever we doing right here, right now, right? We say we teaching, we building a nation or whatever, right? See, make the strongest man, right? You can make the strongest man into a weakling, right? If you put a weak link in a chain that he's a part of. See, that's another part. We started off talking about that. See, building each other up. See, a lot of times when people, you talk about the cipher, you know what I'm saying, and people have this image in their mind, and a lot of times what they think is about people getting broken down. But no, the cipher is where people had to be built up. And see, that's something that, listen, whenever you're going around, whoever it is you teaching, you can't give this person too much, right? You can't give them too much too early, because that might break them down. If you're working out, you can't do too much too early, because now you're going to break the body down. Well, what we want to do is build a body up. To see, we build each other up, right? So that we know how strong our chain is. See, we have been through all these different sciences with each other, so we know how strong our chain is. We know who's who. If somebody tell me, oh, yo, that person right there went over there to handle that, see, I know everything is peace because my own self went over there. Because we done met in the mind and we done walk miles, right? We don't walk miles, so we done live certain things out together. So now I know your word is bond. You see, when you go around not understanding that the words is the easy part. See, I have up here at the school all the time. You get 1,000 motherfuckers. It's usually something has to happen. Something has to happen to kind of put a fire under them. Then you get all these motherfuckers that want nation bill. Yeah, God, I can do that, God. Yeah, I can do this, God. Oh, that right there. Yeah, I got that, God. And then what happens? Then what happens?
I didn't want to see that.
Word is not bond, God. See, that's listen, every question that you have, or at least that I get about, why hasn't growth and development reached this level with the nation? Or why hasn't it reached that level with the nation? You know what I'm saying? Why hasn't this been accomplished? Why hasn't that been accomplished? You know why? Because the words is the easy part, including that question. See, that's the easy part. To come around and ask, why ain't you niggas doing nothing? That's the easy part. See, the hard part, nigga, is to get in the mud with us. See, that's the easy part. And that's what you see going on. See, I ain't here, look, we got to complain about nobody. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? If you, just come into this nation, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, look, man, this is real. We not superheroes, and we don't believe in the magical white man in the sky, and we don't believe in the magical black man in New York City. So everything is real. All right. Everybody know that, you got certain duties off rip, right? You got certain duties off rip. You have to become and remain civilized, right? You have to maintain the civilization of your family, right? And just those things right there, it sounds simple. But you know, that requires everything all the way down to 12 Jews. See what I'm saying? And then out of the 12 Jews, right, we know that for some of them, we need another thing. You know, we need money, which is actually not in the 12 Jews. So, you know, you got to do all that, right? But then, right, you want to promise that you're going to do all this nation building, you know, or whatever it is that you're telling people. That part is the easy part. See, to talk about old times and how it was, that's the easy part. You see, you know, I keep telling people, everybody want to be like back in the days, but don't nobody want to do what we was doing back in the days. Don't nobody want to do that, see? And look, like I said, time passes off. We know, listen, we don't have time to be, you know, full-timers. You know, full-timers, just, you know, we stand on the corner and build. Yeah, we don't got time. We got responsibilities. But I'm saying, even in the way that we conducted ourselves, you understand what I'm saying? You know, dealing with lessons, you know, I'm beyond that now. I'm beyond that. But why, you know, I'm beyond that, but you know, I really wish it was like back in the days. Yeah, well, you beyond back in the days. That's the easy part to say, yeah, it was like this. See, the hard part, right, is to put that in activation right now. And see, what's the clearest example, God? What's the clearest example of that, God? God, listen, let me tell you something. I have never in the history of, you know, my history in the law world manifest, I've never ran into a motherfucker that can out-talk 5%. Never, never. Listen, there's people, you know, like how would you say, you know, like say like the school system. They don't let no 5% talk. If you come in the office, they don't want to hear nothing what you got to say because they know you're going to turn them around. They know that if they let you talk, they're going to end up firing the teacher that sent you down to they already know that. I don't hear you talking. So just saying that to say that, you know, if talking, you know, if talking was, you know, that was the you know, that was the meat of this, we'd be good. Like if it was just about talking a good game, we would be good. You see, you know, like I said, it's about, right, you not becoming that person. That's how I tell people, you know, Everybody want to be Malcolm X. Everybody want to be Malcolm X, but you can't live it out. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be Malcolm X. Yo, you know, how we going to save all these babies? Nigga, save the babies in your house, man. Stop playing. The one next door to you, all this shit, you try to teach the whole, cut it the fuck out. You're having delusions of grandeur, and you're misstating the history, God. You're misstating the history. See, listen, we all got our swings in. The Lord taught the firstborn, right? The firstborn, they had their 5%. Those people had their 5% all the way down to whoever you are right now. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't no one person standing on no bullhorn. It was each one teach one. You see, you go out there and look, we see them. We see them. You know, like I said, we want to, you know, shout out to everybody. But we see the people, right, who have been out there promising that they're going to be the next Malcolm X.
Darkim, Matthew said, "If you tuck the comb."
That was on top of his car?
Yeah.
That was his? Yeah, I put it on the sidewalk right there.
You want me to tell him that, or you want to tell him?
Yeah, I'm doing my class right now.
I tell him.
Where was we at? That's, you know, I like people interrupting. What was that? What was somebody jog my memory back, man? You know, the last days, that's what it is. My mind is, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, God, listen, I had some shit happen that I ain't never, a motherfucker actually told me that he's used to be, right? And he's still saying he got to know. But I don't know if he told me. I don't know if he realizes that that's what he told me. But what was we? That's one thing I don't like with the lag time. Takes too long for y'all to respond sometimes. Did anybody see that on another note? Did anybody see that Colin Powell returned to the essence? Who's this Black Gold? I think the all right, Jay, welcome to the channel. I think the medicine cabinet over here is getting heated up. Black Gold, all right, peace. Oh, we got Raz King over there too. And we got a couple people over here in the medicine room. Oh, yeah, complications, but I'm saying he was fully vaccinated. He was fully vaccinated. That's what's crazy. All right, that's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about in terms of, you know, how you know, people want things to be like it was back in the days, right? But see, you're not living it like you was then. You know what I'm saying? That's the, you're the changes that you made. See, we deal with growth and development. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, growth and development is change, right? But see, one thing we learn, right, in the wisdom build degree, right? The wisdom build, the wisdom born, and particularly the understanding that cipher degree, right, is that there's a degree of change, right? Change can be gradual, but we reach a degree of change where it's no more the same. And see, that's what's happened for some people. And so now you've run into, see, a lot of people, right? You're suffering from the opposite, the inverse. See, we always hear the definition. Right, of crazy as a person or insanity, right? Because, we gotta be politically correct. Of insanity as a person who does the same thing and expects a different outcome, right? Okay, well, what about the person who's doing all different random shit and expecting the same outcome? If you're doing all this other shit and you expect the same outcome. See, at the end of the day, that's what happened. Your word stopped being bond. It's not, like I said, it's not a one-time thing. It's not like, well, yeah, for the first 7-8 years, I had words bond. Or, well, what time is it? Well, everything I say until 8 o'clock, words bond. Nah, it gotta continue to be bond. It's just, yeah, like I said, things occur, we adjust over the time. We have to adjust. Like, see, when I come to the rally now, right, I already come to learn that. Or just not even the rally, when I come into a cipher with guys, right, I already come to learn. I come to add on and teach. Like, I'm just saying, just as a role, listen, when I first came to rally, you know what I'm saying? So look, going to the auditorium over there, we got over there, we got food. So, yo, you in this age right here? You go get on the line. Yeah, y'all first. That was my role. Just to come and do the knowledge, guys. It ain't really, like, things used to happen, you know what I'm saying? And they was telling them, yo, nah, y'all stay over there. Let the men handle this. You see, you start coming to the rally, right? I seen that happen to a lot of people, right? They start coming to the rally, be like, yo, man, what happened to these things? Yeah, nigga, you ain't pick up your role. The people that used to make that food, yeah, they returned. They did their thing. The people that used to do this, the people that used to handle this, they did their thing. And they word was bond. You see what I mean? Because even if they didn't live it out, whatever the penalty was, they paid that already. And so see all this stuff, like, yeah, I'd say myself, but see all this almighty God lost. That's what I'm saying. Don't think that righteousness, that building and all of this can occur because it happened in 1964, right? Nothing that happened from 1964 to 1969 mean a motherfucking thing except what we apply it as. See, that's the end of the day, guys. We live through those people that came before us, but see, they lived through us too. But there'll be another footnote in history. And how sometimes when we discuss this shit on there, be like, hey, a little bit of trivia. A little bit of trivia. This person over there. See, we well known, the law is well known because of the impact that we all caused to happen. Or listen, if your name on there ain't in the A, that's on you. We gave you the knowledge, we told you what to do. If you fucked up, see, listen, man, if something happened to me, I had a good run. If something happens to me, I had a good run, son. Like I'm look, it's other niggas with more chips than me. There's Michael Jordan, these got Kobe, that retired with the belt. I understand that. But son, I'm still going to Hall of Fame. See, that's why I'm not worried about that. See, just like, look, even the religious people that know they lived a good, righteous life according to whatever they think. Yes, I mean, the people that know, I did what Jesus would do. They ain't scared. It's the motherfucker that think they might be going to hell. Oh, we got Church of Hip Hop and Financial Prosperity. God born, we got West Coast in the house. Yeah, we are to renew history, not repeat it. Yeah. So that's how we have to renew it, right? Like I said, when you come into the cipher, you're not coming to cipher to do the same thing. Everything you do is going to be growth and development. I mean, look, if a person walking to class right now, right? They're not getting the same thing as a person that walked in class in 1992. Right? It's not that my word is not born, I'm teaching nothing different, but I'm twice as old as I was then. Like if I hadn't grown and developed, if I hadn't gotten any new knowledge, wisdom, or understanding to add on to the people in that time, then yeah, I might as well go ahead, where you just get a shovel. You might as well just get a shovel at that point. If you could spend 20 years, right, without learning that, you might as well get a shovel, dig a hole as deep as you can, and just jump the fuck in. There's nothing left for you to do here. From the old L game. Is a brother, he said he was coming. I don't know if he's gonna end up coming. Yeah, right. Listen, boy, I tell people that, look, I tell all the brothers that's from the 70s, all the brothers from the 70s, that's what when I see them, I always ask them how I feel to be the firstborn now. Yeah. Yo, God, it's a handful of people left from the 60s. Like a handful, like, if you came around now, you know what I'm saying? Really? And boy, I'm gonna tell you something, I seen that problem. People have that problem, right? Where they don't want to bear witness to the 80s. They don't, for whatever reason, they see brothers from the 80s as more of a peer group. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to brothers from the 60s and 70s. Like where I've had, look, I tell this brother something, He argued me down. Brother from the 60s telling the same exact thing. Then he come back. Yeah, peace, God. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. I'm built with the God. Nigga, I don't need you to come and tell me you built with nobody else and I'm right. We wasn't debating. I told you what the fuck it is, and you just ain't see it. But yeah, the time is coming, God. But see, here's the thing why they don't like it, God, is because see, we can expose shit, God, because we know. See, they come around, talk all this crazy shit. We see, like, see how we do it, God, every 25, right? We renew history. So the way I look at it, God, I got the knowledge in the first Quran in the first 25 years. You know what I'm saying? That's who I grew up around. That's who I grew up with. Those are the brothers that, was at the rally. Those are the brothers that was at school. Those are the brothers that was standing around in the street. Where I got my directives about this one. You know what I'm saying? Then, you got that, 80, like 90 to, to 2015, or whenever that Quran, you know what I'm saying? And now you got, and what I noticed, God, right, is that the brothers that is from that second 25 years, right, they used to always, they could not understand why we was all about lessons. And when, man, brothers, all they know is 120. Like, nah, nigga, you really don't want to test me. Let's stick to 120. Let's I'm gonna do you a favor. And stick to 120. So like, see, we gave you 120. We gave you that, son. We gave you all the answers you need. When we asked you those days, we gave you that. You don't really want to test me on shit that we ain't give. But see, now I notice a lot of those brothers, it's like, yo, man, what's going on with the nation now? See, now they starting to see. You see what I mean? Because, when you're just coming in, you're just on the outskirts of living the history. You see, once you got to write the history, and then you see these niggas living it out, and you like, wait, hold on. Apparently you forgot your lines, man. Are you aware of what we supposed to be doing here? See, all those are things, man, that people, like I said, in words, you a part of this family, you a part of this culture. Okay, well, why when we practice our customs, you got a problem with it? Like, dude, that's a custom. Niggas say what the fuck they want to say about it. Everybody, all they do is quote it. You know what? That's our fucking custom. All you do is eat fucking Thanksgiving dinner. That's your custom. That's the fuck you do. Y'all go to church, y'all take communion, whatever is the things that you do, what is the customs, right, in your family and your culture. The Costanza family, they celebrate Festivus. We build on degrees, motherfucker. That's what we do. In the same way, if, you just don't show up to no family holidays, you don't call, people gonna start saying, yeah, that nigga ain't ready, we related to that nigga, but I don't be calling that nigga when we got something. Like if we got something we about to spread the joy with, we don't call that nigga. Like it's just some things where if we gonna do as a family, like, son, listen, if you ain't there for a penny right now, then you ain't there. See, that's the part, like I said, in word. In the words. Yeah, I live this culture. But see, that's as long as, you live it as long as it's convenient. But see, when you actually have to take some time, right? Some energy, some blood, some sweat, some tears, right? And put it into this, now, right? You have to understand. Yeah, indeed. Customs is what makes the culture, but that's what I'm saying. See, people have found fault, right, with a lot of our customs, without just, realizing that, see, even those customs, right, those customs, a culture is a way that people survive, in an environment. You know what I mean? So it's not customary to wear, hoodies like this if you live in Egypt. You ain't be able to, you ain't be able to do your thing like that. You understand what I'm saying? See, some of our customs, right, or our customs was born, right, in the atmosphere that the nation was born. So yeah, look, we in the nation, right? We in a nation where, our founder was returned to the essence. You know what I mean? He was shot on 2 different occasions. And so, yeah, we want to know who you is when you come around us. See, because, maybe y'all know, but I don't know who did that. So, yeah, motherfucker come around us, they getting examined. See, this knowledge grew and is continuing to grow, right? Very far, very fast. Did anybody see the Black Panther documentary where they said that ended up being their Achilles heel? Is that they had an event that happened and was televised. And when that event was televised, that people all over America wanted to be Panthers. And they said that it was so many people that came, to get the program. So they was like, yo, we just was giving people the program and sending them back to their area. We didn't really know who none of these people was. We didn't examine anybody. Did you see what's the brother name? The guy returned in Chicago. Hampton, Fred Hampton. Not the movie that just came, but it was a documentary, right? No, matter of fact, it wasn't particularly about him. It was something. Was it Gil Noble? He was being interviewed, right? And he was the guy that set Fred Hampton up. And he said that he wasn't even on no Black Power shit. Like he didn't care, he wasn't in civil rights, he wasn't really even into it. That he just happened to get caught stealing a car. And so he's got this case on his back and he just looking for a way out. Like he's like, yo, what can I say? What can I do to get out of this? And he said eventually the officers came in and said, look, you want to join the Black Panthers for us? Like, yeah, we can't get no. And it was a way out, so he just did it. Fuck it. And I don't want to say it's their fault, but dude, they made him head of security. They made him head of security. That's how he was able to line everything up. And just remember, this is all during that time. Like we born during that time. Like that. See, us having that mentality is one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of other groups from the 60s still around. See, because it was our custom to examine people. See, it's our custom that now, son, we gotta know you. We come in your house, man. We come in your class, in the school. Who's this nigga here you with? Oh, that's your cousin? All right. But now, see, when it comes time to live that out, because at the end of the day, I'm just telling you that, see, look, this is just the talking part. This is just the talking. We just here talking. But see, when we have to put all this into activation, then it's just, look, this basic training. This basic training, like we ain't entered the theater yet, son. See, when you get to Vietnam, like nah, son, fuck you mean you renewing your history on how to break your rifle down, nigga? Nah, nigga, this you ain't no renewing history over here. No, I don't have time to. No, I don't have time to go through it with you. No, I don't have another copy of 120. Nigga, fuck is wrong with you? When we touch down in Saigon, son, you gotta be ready. You see, in America, we don't go to Saigon. Saigon comes to us. So when they get here, you know what I'm saying? Whoever's not ready. You understand what I'm saying? Whoever's not ready, they on their own. Now, my father said, Jonathan Kidd asked, do you see that happening nowadays with our culture? Yeah. Yeah. Said, you know, do I want it to happen? You know, see, we always take that out. That's an out, you know, especially 5%, we love that. And not around me. Yeah, but it's, you know, particularly around me, no, it's not. But is it happening where, like, there's terminology that people use now, right? That simply never would have existed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I mean, some of it is because we're in, we in this internet world and everything too. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, where you could have people saying that they Muslim gods, you know, just different things where, you know, because, you know, we're not practicing our customs. And this is an example that I always use, right? See, when Jay-Z wore our flag and motherfuckers was asking, what's that about? See, if Jay-Z wore the golden arches, talking about the McDonald's, the emblem for McDonald's, see, nobody wouldn't ask what that is. people would say, Jay-Z, oh snap, you got a contract, you work on McDonald's, you a spokesman for McDonald's now? Because McDonald's is so active with their flag that there's no mistaking. They do their custom. They sell burgers every fucking where, all day and all fucking night, in every language. So there's no mistaking. Like if me and you walked in a place and the motherfucker was perpetrating the McDonald's fry, you would say, nah, what the fuck is this shit, man? This shit ain't McDonald's. See, that's what happens when you active. See, Jay-Z would have not worn that in the 1970s or the 1980s or the 1990s, right? And nobody knew what the fuck that was. I'm talking about people in New York didn't know. I can see you somewhere in Alaska. But that's about the activity. In anything you do, like look, to this day right now, so it's, you know, and I remember I used to laugh at people in LA about that shit. But to this day, you know, certain colors, I don't even wear that shit, man. Like I don't even want to be involved with y'all. It's not that I'm scared. I just like, dude, I got shit to do. But see, why would you say, okay, not this color or not that color? Because of how active the motherfuckers that wear that color is. There's no mistaking. You understand what I'm saying? You can't use nobody logo. You can't come out with the YouTube logo and the motherfucking thing is some other shit. And so it's the same way. If, you know, when people see the custom to a point where it's like, yeah, that shit you doing now, that ain't. Right, 21 Savage, yeah, he wore, see, exactly. Even though with 21 Savage, that was a particular situation where, see, that's why you gotta be concise and you gotta be clear with the way you speak. See, the brother was being introduced to the knowledge, right? You see what I mean? And so he did it as, you know, it was paying homage, really. You know what I'm saying? And he did it out of respect. He didn't do it to like be appropriating it or nothing. You see what I'm saying? But you know, that's another thing, man. And the brothers introduced you to him, you know, I told him that too, is that, you know, listen, guy, you gotta, you know, see me, guy, listen, I don't bring a nigga around y'all before I prepare. I don't, guy. See, I wouldn't line a nigga up like that I like, guy. Like if I like a nigga, guy, I'm not going to bring him around y'all until I know he's hip to the protocol. Like I seen, yo, listen, guy, I seen crazy shit happen, guy. And crazy shit happened to motherfucker. Like, listen, guy, every time motherfucker told me, yo, he's going to the store. This nigga comes back with pigs and a blanket, guy. Yo, guy, I don't bring a motherfucker around, man, until I've hit them, right? Until I've hit them, man, to look, these is the things. Or, you know, if I know that's a person where he know that I want to follow the God's lead. You know what I'm saying? The God does things in a particular way. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you walking up the street, look at, that happens all the time recently, because people do that, you know. See, me, I mean, don't get me wrong, we got the class right here and all that, but see, when I did my teaching out there, and when I brought somebody over here, guy, they like, God, you can't bring, you gotta remember the people. Now, you can't just bring anybody around El Naheem. You can't just bring anybody around Big Head and Firstborn Prince and these people. It's not gonna be no leniency. Fuck your man. If you don't like him, you get the fuck out of here with him. So when I was in the Marines, I knew a dude with a fake Louis Vuitton sweatsuit and a universal flag on it and two Masonic symbols above the flag, and the flag was crooked. I told him not to wear it. Yeah, see, yeah, people, in the final analysis, see, there's a lot of things too that I don't be bearing witness to. Like, look, let's go back to the beginning. Just how I make a couple observations. Now I make a couple observations now, recently we've been using that for. I make a couple observations in the beginning. Let me explain something to you. Only NOI is 5%. Like when they say Muslims and Muslim science, they're not talking about fucking Sunnis. It's not. A lot of this stuff, listen, I didn't met some Masons. I ain't never really meet maybe those is like some high power. I ain't never meet no Mason that know nothing about the square miles of planet Earth. In terms of them saying that there's some knowledge of self that stems from the East, first of all, the origin of them saying that shit ain't the same origin we talking about. And we really like, I hate you saying, but at the end of the day, look, they had their time. You know what I'm saying? They had their time. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's just one of them things where it's like, how do you have one flag on, right? You got one flag on that requires you to conceal, right? Under penalty of being beaten with many stripes, right? Then you got another flag on that requires you to reveal under penalty of being beaten with many stripes. See, like I said, they had their time in the 1800s, right? When it was dangerous for original man to have knowledge, right? Then yeah, in that type of atmosphere, we need something where, we can conceal what we really doing. That we really over here trying to do things to bring about freedom, justice, and equality for original people. We trying to deal with civil rights, right? But we can't just come out and say that. So yeah, you gotta use your signs and symbols. But I'm saying, Malcolm X have been on TV. They made a movie about, you like the motherfucker. Remember back in the days, hey boy, you remember this cat? It was a cat, and I believe he was in LA. But this was back in the days when the LA Gears first came out, right? And the cops rolled up, like wherever they was at, they on the block, they hustling. And the cops rolled up and the dude jetted off, like everybody scattered. But the one dude, he got caught, right? Because he had the lights on his LA Gears. that he was hiding in the bushes, right? But he had the lights on his LA gears. See, to me, that, you know, when you got a Mason flag or the righteous flag, you know, people call, you know, yeah, it's like you hide in the bushes with your glow lights on your LA gears. You know, you just look stupid. You know, to me, you know, I would feel stupid trying to conceal a secret that everybody knows. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen somebody in that predicament, you know, where niggas trying to conceal something, but everybody knows what I'm saying. And you trying to go the long way around and go over there, like, nigga, everybody know where you're going. But you just look stupid. But, you know, I guess I digress. Robbie, Jonathan Kelly said, being from Chicago, you just can't walk around with certain flags or symbols on, you would get checked. That's what I'm saying. And you know which ones they is because of how active motherfuckers. Now, see, this other motherfuckers, they supposed to be against, niggas walk past there every day. Because they're not active. Nobody don't even know that's a place not to walk. Kasim Shabazz said, question 16-point flag. What's the question? Yeah, what's the name? Yeah, that's what Orange bring up a great point here that, you know, whatever science, you know, that may or may not have existed, right, in these Masonic rituals is going there. My grandmother was a worthy matron, meaning that's the head, the worthy master is the head of the Masonic Lodge. The worthy matron is the head of the Eastern Star Lodge. And they ain't know no science. All they did was go to Atlantic City. You know, they had like different conventions where they go to, and you know, it was basically about collecting dues and stuff. You know, did she have a couple of books with a you know, a disembodied eye on it or something? But she didn't know no science. And listen, they actually approached me. They was actually trying to recruit me. I was, you know, I told you, look, the Ansars trying to get me, kind of people they try to recruit. You know what I'm saying? So they was trying to recruit me, and it was this kid, he was like a junior Mason or something. You know what I'm saying? He don't know name, but then yo, it's this other dude, he's supposed to be like high powered. So he come over there, he say something to me, and then what I said to him, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know what it was, so he went and got this other dude. When the other dude came, he seen my flag, right? He tells my grandmother, yo, don't let him wear that. Yo, tell him to take that sword. Yo, that's dangerous. Yo, that's dangerous. He died with that. It's like, yeah, these people are bugged out, man. They don't got no science. You know, they about education. You know what I'm saying? The fraternities and sororities and all of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, at that time, you know, so I don't condemn them. You know what I mean? Like you can't say, oh, well, you should have had the knowledge the way we had it, when the knowledge the way we had it hadn't developed yet. They did it how they did it. But I don't, you know, I'm not intrigued with any of that stuff. what you said right here, like visible Masons and KKK are seen less. Albert Pike was up in the ranks of both organizations at the same time. In fact, KKK recruitment through the newspaper said that they prefer Masons. I mean, in terms of the history, their impact on the history in America, but that's a secular thing. It's not, all this other esoteric stuff that they saying, like I haven't seen all this, like, self-realization or actualization amongst them. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like I said, they had their movement in developing the colleges and developing the, kind of sororities and all the support groups that the people at that time needed to lift themselves out of poverty. But, maybe one of y'all could tell me, have y'all ever sat down with one of them and had a real substantial conversation? Like, at best, they tell you a whole bunch of historical trivia, like, well, we learned this from the pyramids in Egypt. So what? Like, and I never heard nobody in the pyramids in Egypt say that. That's one of them things too, where, yeah, that's real convenient for you to say this came from Egypt 2,000 years later. Allah will manifest Allah. No, the worshipful master is the second in command. Joseph Mason was very active back in the 80s in the military. The science was about manhood, being a man of principles, and as a man of principle, being active and known in your community. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They've been stopped with the being, known in the community for doing anything. Yeah, that's all they, guys, listen, I used to live in the house with her, guys. She didn't know no science like that. She believed, listen, she believed totally and fully in Christianity. Totally and fully. Mr. Spock said the science of masonry is complicated. There are some masons who are just in unions. There are some who are secretive fraternities, and some who are very knowledgeable in righteousness and openly wear their flag of compass and square. Okay, what are they knowledgeable about? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's different people that I've met, like, Shaka Utmost, he deal with something different than what I deal with, you know what I mean? He's deal with the Nile River Valley, you know what I mean, as his foundation or whatever. But I'm saying he's a knowledgeable guy. There's other people that I could say, we could agree, I guess, to disagree on the basis that, your worldview, your conclusions that you make of the facts because of your worldview is going to be different than mine, right? But I can acknowledge that, all right, yeah, this brother right here got some knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I've never really met a Mason right? That even when you say they knowledgeable, what they knowledge consists of, they tell you some shit about the Knights Templars and what that got to do with masonry. But there's nothing, they're not telling you the square miles of the planet Earth. I've never been around them and heard them talk about, $196,940,000 square miles. I've never heard them speaking of history, our history, not our ancient history. I'm talking about right now. What knowledge do they have? I'm saying, because if they have it, let's use it. If motherfucker got some valuable knowledge, right? What we sitting over here for talking about data 10%? What is it doing? It's gotta, I've got to see something. Meaning, for instance, I see the fraternities and the sororities. I see the diplomas that they graduated with. I see, with my physical eyes, you go in offices of Black doctors, Black lawyers, Black whatever, and you see they fraternity thing, they got their Masonic ring on, where that helped them to advance. Other than that, nah, I don't see it, man. Just look, I've never met a high-powered Muslim. All the stuff people be talking, nah, I never, nah. I have no idea what y'all talking about, and look, I can admit it's probably due to my own ignorance. It's my ignorance, but I'm just telling you, I have yet to be presented with this beard-breaking knowledge that exists, in any holy building or any Masonic temple. Oh yeah, Ralph and Ed, they was raccoons though. The Raccoon Lodge. Of course, I remember the Raccoon Lodge. So you said the compass means direction, or the sun shining down on the square means earth. That's what I'm saying. That's interesting. How do I use that? It's interesting. Well, how do I use that? What is that? You talking to some young men. You talking to some young men, young women, wherever. You know what I'm saying? You trying to, give them. You trying to hit them on something, right? That's going to take them places in life. Where's that taking? Yeah, that's true too. Warren said there's levels of masonry. You got Boy Scouts, children masonry, college fraternities, junior masons, and then you have masons on to the Shriners. Yeah, it's a lot of different feeder groups. That's how I look at it. They like feeder groups, kind of like incubators, right? They kind of like incubators for the young, and then it's that's where the Masons end up pulling most of their stock from. You know what I'm saying? Because there's another thing up in the P. It's like a junior Navy shit or something. It's like some type of junior Navy, something. I can't recall, the cadets or something like that they call it. You know what I'm saying? But it's based on the Navy. And the black Masons is based on the Navy. That's where Prince Hall, he was in the Navy, and he patterned their I don't know what the word is for it, but the way they move is patterned after the Navy. Jonathan Kidd said, when someone who was a Mason found out that I built 120, they become very inquisitive. Yeah, because they don't got nothing. Like they got a whole bunch of ancient mysteries that they can't make no sense of. So Reveal is bringing up, this looks like a little bit of a conspiracy theory here. So apparently there's something going on with the chessboard. What is the chessboard? What does the chessboard indicate? Somebody said Masons are knowledgeable in the interpretations of scriptures that are astrological and environmental and dealing with the actual body that most people take as literal. A real Mason is like a monk a lot. I mean, well, they deal with symbols and signs. You know what I mean? So, you know, that they, you know, look at the symbolism of different things, you know, but look, I can tell you right now, they wrong, son. They're wrong. The Bible is about pimping and prostitution. It's not about none of that shit they talking about. So you know, the Bible don't say nothing about no upstanding people. Who's upstanding in the Bible? So not talking about none of that stuff. None of that Masonic stuff they talking about, you know, is you know, the Masons, at least the Black Masons, came about at a time when the Bible was seen as the most authoritative book, you know, the most authoritative knowledge, like, you know, into the 1900s, even the field of history and archaeology, science, they was trying to prove the Bible correct. Isaac Newton was trying to show everybody how the grand architect worked. See, today people use his discoveries or whatever you want to call them. You know, people use his findings, you know, in support of an atheistic worldview. But Newton was trying to prove that the Bible was correct. So yeah, that's you know, that's what people devoted their time to breaking down. But listen, man, there's none of that shit they talking in there. How do I feel about guys that become Masons? See, for me, whatever you do, right, just make sure you keep that over there. Like whatever you do in life, right, you know, it's with everything. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm God that's doing whatever else that I do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not you know, a New Yorker that happens to be God.
That's true.
No, I'm God. I'm God that rests in New York. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know, when a person starts to lose perspective, where now you want to come and teach us about that, right? And teach us that, you know, we need to be that, right? Or, you know, you just get to the point where it's like it's too mixed up for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's with anything, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you go out there and we're like, if you go out there and become a doctor, you know what I'm saying? But don't come in here with your medication trying to give it to me. And when you down there at your job, do what you do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, don't start busting your raps in the middle of a cipher. You know, you a rapper, take your ass to the stage. This over here is for guys and earths. You know what I'm saying? Now, once we deal with first things first and last things last, right? We then dealt with the highest world. Now, yeah, we come into all the other worlds. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of, yo, are you in that world being God? Or is the words just easy to say to us, but when you go over there in that world? And look, a lot of things is like that. You ever know a nigga that, yo, he act all tough and shit over here, and then you see him around some other niggas and shit, and they slap him all in the head? And you know, bro, look, she's a church girl. She's a church girl on our block. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's just one of them things where, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, why are you doing it? Like, if you in a world where it's like, yo, advancements could be made, right? And so you utilizing that, right, to handle what you gotta handle. But like, if you becoming, you know, because at some point, at some level, it's like, well, are you becoming that because you feel this knowledge is insufficient? See, that's where we run into problems. You know what I'm saying? You know, most people, right, that lead the knowledge feel as though they've done so for the purpose of growth and development. So, you know, at that point, you know, look, Frank, what's your real name, Frank? You know, stop telling us to call you Allah when you go over there and be a fucking follower. But that's with anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know brothers, look, they go down to the mosque. But see, don't come over here telling me that the lessons say his own self is a righteous Muslim. See, once you do that, now you've crossed the line. We'll stay over there. The hell is going on? I'm gonna have to start locking the door in this one. Joseph said they don't deal with the high science or the supreme wisdom. Masonry is a system of morality veiled in allegories and illustrated by symbols. They use biblical myths to learn things about self. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, everybody knew the Bible then. So whatever was taught was kind of taught by way of the Bible. People learn how to read off the Bible. You know what I'm saying? He said divine understanding born said the same thing. Masons are 85% worshiping that which they cannot see. Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah, ROTC is another, yeah, junior. Yeah, there's a lot of feeder groups into the Masons. Want to remember the story USA for y'all that's what we call universal sham God. Whenever you hear USA, that's universal sham God. Told him to send a man about his experience with the Mason Shriner. I had to see it, but I don't recall particularly. So you have Prince Hall and John G. Jones Masons. I ain't familiar with John G. Jones. Mr. Spike said, Professor James Small and Dr. Ben were Masons, but not like some of that BS Masonry. Dr. Ben wore a sword on the upper part of his fez, so he may have held back on some things, but he was a valuable source of knowledge and did field work himself. Man, they're not supposed to reveal secrets that they doing down there at the lodge. You know, but you know, I'm with whoever said it's a social group, man. It's a social group, man. You know, they throw parties, they go to Atlantic City, you know, and it's different, the different Masonic, you know, organizations, you know, they might meet up in a place, have a convention, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, if they had some high power secret, see, a lot of people don't realize the secrecy in itself is a thing. Like secrecy in itself is a thing. That's why in the government, they have intelligence. Like to me, that's really the whole science of Masonry, is that it's secret. Like right now, this is what I'm saying. I sit right here every day and give people the mathematics. It don't change not a motherfucking thing. But see, if it was a secret, right? And then I told people, then that would reduce my power. See, why we keep manifesting the signs and it don't never reduce our power. It don't dilute our power. That's the only thing that make Masons powerful. Man, listen, man. See, one thing about, is look, Masonry is about white people. Like this is just another one of them things where Black people seem to not understand that, listen, you're not a part of the mainstream society. You're not. That's some bullshit that you're doing over there on the side, playing games with your friends. You know, there was no, trust me, like if you see some shit like 9/11 happen, right? There was no Black Masons there. It was, he said, that shit is about, in Europe, you had two forces. You had the Catholic Church and you had the royal families. And other than that, nobody really could rise in Europe. Besides the people who was affiliated with the church and the royal family, right? And whatever they dukes and duchesses, they best friends or whatever, besides them, everybody else was peasants. And so the Masonic shit is about them battling in Europe over power. And then, brothers seeing that that fraternity existed amongst them, and it was a way that these other white people who wasn't in the royal family or in the Catholic Church, right? Or some kind of military hero, they was able to come up through that. And they became powerful enough where they actually challenged and defeated those organizations. For instance, the French Revolution, right? The Masonic input into the American Revolution. And, once they acquired that secular power, of course, they went after the Catholic Church. But they was also going after the Catholic Church because the royal families and the Catholic Church, of course, had the alliance. That's the way the Masonic shit, that's the way it played out in Europe. But I'm saying the same alliance that made the Pope send Henry the Navigator and all the rest of them to the original people, right? That alliance that they formed, the same alliance that made the Pope send them to Jerusalem for the Crusades, right? That alliance was also giving hell to the peasants in Europe. There's no science to this shit. Everything people been saying, listen, even that, see, when Europeans first got the science of building, it was a magical science to them. That's why masonry, right, amongst the Europeans was so high-powered. That's why these tools were so high-powered, because they didn't have them before the Crusades. If you go back before the Crusades in Europe, castles where kings used to live is made out of wood and mud. After the Crusades is when you see the stone castles. And if you notice, when you look at the early, well, not the early, but the construction that's happening in Europe during the medieval times, coming to the Renaissance times, right? Only things that's made out of stone is castles and churches. See, you talking about motherfuckers who was illiterate, diseased, et cetera, That's why the science of building was high power to them. That's why they respect the Egyptians, because they still haven't mastered that level of building. Black people sitting around trying to figure out how they gonna get the fucking last keys to the universe, the missing links of understanding for masonry. You on a wild goose chase, right? If they do know it, then listen, they're damn good at concealment. But other than that, man, I'm telling you, you know, all of that part gets left out of the history. You want to go see people that believe in that shit, you go straight from Egypt to Jerusalem to George Washington. Nah, nigga, that's not the history of Masonry. The history of Masonry, right, to this day, right, to this day, when you see how people protect their trades. The same way how a motherfucker will let you come work for him, right? But he won't give you, the brothers in here that do construction know the exact term, but it's something where you could work for an individual in construction trades, right? And then they give you some kind of recommendation or something, right? When you get all your licenses and get in the union. The same way how the union come in and protect their shit, and if you in the union, you get X dollars, and if you not in the union, you don't get X dollars. That's what the fuck the secrecy and the signs and the symbols for. You needed the fucking sign to get your money. Are you just here carrying bricks from there to there, motherfucker? Or are you a skilled laborer here? All that other stuff, like you said, you go in there and you get the brothers right here said apprenticeship. I knew it was a name for it. I couldn't, you know, that's not my field. But there's, you know, I mean, if anybody got anything else, I mean, let me know. But you know, that's what I know about Mason. It's not for us, man. You know, secret societies, you know, exist. Now, if you're just saying, you know, secret societies, you know, but in particular that, you know, the Scottish Rite got some high power signs. Nah, I haven't encountered it yet. Catch back up here. It says you gotta stop. And you know, it's funny, Divine God put here, Elijah Muhammad was a Mason. You know, there's an individual right now, Tony Montana. Mr. Tony Montana is commenting. He's under the impression he's debating with me. He's making comments on the video about the one where I said, should 120 lessons be changed? You know, and he comes on, he's talking, yeah, I'm just hearing him out. But he's drawing a conclusion that I disagree with his conclusion. You know what I'm saying? He goes through all this song and dance like, my man. But yeah, that's his point. You know, he comes on to tell me that, you know, Elijah Muhammad was a Mason, and that's the real meaning of the third grade education, was that he was a master Mason. And I'm like, okay, you know, then he's going through all this, you know, yeah, you know, we're debating. Scans, first of all, I don't debate. I don't debate, my G. And if I was going to debate, why would I debate Elijah Muhammad being a Mason? Like, what, you know, that I'm not into that kind of shit. But yeah, this individual, Tony Montana, you know, but he claims that, you know, he was a 5% at one time, you know, because he says that in his, you know, whenever I have a conversation with brothers that are still 5%. He's like, yo, Elijah Muhammad, you know, he couldn't have possibly, that was really what I was, you know, he says Elijah Muhammad could not possibly have had a third grade education and been able to comprehend or answer the questions in 120. You know, and then his conclusion is that, so what he really means by third grade education is that he's a master race. And I'm like, no, it doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? There's many great speakers whose formal education, you know, is lacking, you know. So he wants to use as proof that Warwick Dean never said. Like, nigga, what the fuck does what Warwick Dean didn't say? What does that prove? It's kind of clown behavior. I guess I got to get used to it. But yeah, shout out Tony Montana. You know, thanks for tuning into the channel, supporting. You know, but don't try to debate me because you're religious. What is subplanet? I never heard of subplanted. This is Frank said the problem book is Masonic style. I mean, I don't know what Masonic style is. I'm not you know, well versed on what, you know, I'm sure you know, there's some things in there. So you can buy their ritual book at the bookstore. It's called Duncan's Ritual. This is what they study to prepare for their tests. I'm not sure what this subplanted you keep talking about. What is subplanted? I don't even know if I want to go down this rabbit hole with the law will manifest, because you know we never know where that rabbit hole leads to. Yeah, right, boy. Yeah. You know, at this point, everything is being revealed. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think they still got, like, what can be left? Like, we know the black man is God. What could be left, God? You know what I'm saying? We know the black man is God, right? What could be left? Like, what could be, you know, I don't get it. Like I'm saying, like, look, once, you know, for years, and OI was telling me, listen, man, you know, you need to come into mosque, man, so you can get, you know, you can get the jewels, or the way they say you need to step up into the house. You need to step up into the house so you can be around the people, man, and you can learn all this other stuff. Like, fam, I know the black man is God. What's left, son? Give me a clue. Like, what's left? What else do I need to know from India? All right, now see, Divine, you saying the story of Hiram Abiff is the story of the black man being made dead, being blind, deaf, and dumb. By the time he realizes his power, it's too late to reclaim his inheritance after waking up from a mental death. Now listen, that is, great as a lesson that you could draw up from that. But is it possible that Hiram Abiff was just a regular person and that we're imposing these meanings? Because, I mean, I don't know if that's happening on the white side because I don't really talk with white Masons, right? But I've never met a Mason, right, that I would consider, awakened from a mental death. Possibly more woke, if we want to use that word, than, just your average 85. But listen, guys, we all wise, and they're otherwise. I don't know what else to tell you. John the Kid said, once you start talking about the French Revolution, you start going into the history of the Illuminati. Exactly, a Masonic group. So when we talking about, do they have a secret organization that has had an impact, right? But this is what I'm saying. If Black Masons, right, got Masonry from white Masons, I mean, are they down? Like, what? I'm not getting that. Like, where would the Black Masons have gotten all this knowledge from? John the Kid said once they started mastering alchemy and chemistry, they used the science to make weapons to conquer. You asking me what's the interorientation, or you asking Allah will manifest? I'm just warning you right now, before you go down that rabbit hole with Allah will manifest, you better bring a jacket. Because you can like Elizabeth said, he was also with Fard for 3 or so years, hence third grade education. Elijah talks about his Masonic background in the book called The True History of Master Fard. Yeah, I mean, it's common knowledge. It's not, dude, you know, yeah, I guess, I have that effect on people. I have that effect on people where people think I don't know a lot. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it's not something I really don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? It's actually an advantage for people to think you're stupid. Like Allah will manifest. What do you? All right, look, I don't know where you're getting this stuff from, the subplanted stuff Allah will manifest, but that has nothing to do with Yakub. I got to catch up now because I'm a little bit lost in the comments. Yeah, I'm nah. They don't have tools to fully understand the harm of their story. That's what they say it means. Yeah, a lot will manifest. You got to get into some of these. You got to get into the meanings of some of these words and terms that you're using. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna take a little break here. Oh no, he left. But yeah, you got to get into some of these meanings. You got to remember. So that's one of the reasons why I always say going to the etymologies is important because we have a lot of words. We done with 120 that's being used in a early 20th century worldview. You know what I'm saying? So, we even have words that have fallen out of common usage. You know what I'm saying? Like interorientation is not a word that you hear right, compound words. That's another thing that is also good to know is which is one of the things I seen y'all dealing with in the side rally here is the prefixes and suffixes. You know what I'm saying? So see, like Asian, when you see Asian after a word, right? Asian is a suffix that turns a verb into a noun. So see, if I present you with something, right? If I present you with something, that's a verb. But if I make a presentation, that's a noun. See what I'm saying? Enter, that means between two things. See, when you can start to break down, you know, once you learn the etymologies and you see, you know, you got the prefixes, well, you got the roots, really, I should say that first. You got the roots, right? You got the prefixes, you know, which comes before the root, and you got the suffixes that come after the root. So just generally, you know, understanding those roots, understanding etymology and what is the foundation of certain words, right? You'd be able to understand sometimes a person might introduce you to a new word. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of times when I ask brothers a question and they start circumlocuting. I remember when the teacher presented us with that word in class, knowing that people wasn't gonna know. You know what I'm saying? You see, when you were 5%, right? When you were 5%, you know, you used to that. You know what I'm saying? You've been taught how to break things down. So I didn't know what the whole word meant, right? But you know, he came to everybody was stunned. He came to me, I said, you know, well, I know circum means around. And when I said that, he just started spewing like, yo, he started going through, but that was the point. See, I didn't know that was the point when he asked the question, right? But that was his point that he was trying to get to, is how you can break, you know, any words down that you hear that you may not be familiar with the particular word. You understand what I mean? But if you know about these roots and prefixes and suffixes, right, you can navigate, you know what I'm saying? Even, look, those prefixes, suffixes, and roots can even help you sometimes with a whole different language. But you know, without knowing what the words mean, right? What they mean, just the simple meaning, understanding is impossible because you don't have the knowledge. You said enter means to turn inward, orient means to have, orient means to have to the east, more specifically the sun. Well, see, those are different roots. See, what you talking about is the word inter, you know, which is like when when they put your body, when you return to the essence and they put your body in the grave, or in that mausoleum thing, you're interred. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the things we got to deal with the English language, right? Is that England was conquered by a whole bunch of different people. Like all of the people that you know right now, like the Anglos and the Saxons, they not from England, they from Germany. You know what I'm saying? The dude, their second king, the first king of England was a dude named Harold, I think. And then he got beat by this dude from France. And so that's why you got French words in English, you got German words in English. Of course, originally Britannia was a Roman province, so you got Latin, you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you will have words in English that actually come from totally different roots, but might be spelled and sound the same. Now, Asiatic is a word that has fallen out of usage. You know, I first, recall people saying Asiatic. You know, I remember when people were still saying Mongoloid, but because they also have a form of childhood mental challenge, you know what I'm saying? Some form of being mentally challenged that's called mongoloid. They call the people that is challenged that way mongoloid, so they stop saying that. All of the business said interorientation means the beginning of an agreement partnership acknowledged by parties of the agreement. Orient means to face the east. I mean, inter as a prefix means among or between. Orientation means the introduction to determine relatives' positions of a school of business. That's what Orient really means. Orient means to position. You know what I'm saying? When the TV and the couch is oriented in such a way where you can see it. Now, the orient, I'm actually, I had to look that one up. I'm not sure how the Far East came to be known as the Orient. I'm not 100% sure on that. I got some ideas. But the interorientation is like, we let each other know what is our position, in this agreement. Like this is my position right here. This is what I'm gonna be bringing to the table. This is what you're gonna be bringing to the table. And we made this agreement between each other. Yeah, I got a lot will manifest on the road today. I don't know what's going on with him. But we got the medicine room. Nobody's really in the medicine room today. We ain't really having no fun over there. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and shut the medicine room down. We'll be back. We'll be back. Shut that. Oh, what's this? Thank you, God. Change this. You know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, we come in. I know it's about that time for me to start asking, have there been any questions? Any questions on what we've run across so far? Or just anything in general. I'm about to check the what's the names too, man. I've been getting a lot of good videos from brothers. VC Realm sends me a lot of videos. Knowledge Born, you know, but I'm gonna work it out so we can start doing it how we did that time where we watched the video and then I got a chance to build on what was going on there. Also, man, I still haven't touched base with the God. I want to call up Minister Freedom. And you know, add on with him, you know, about what I thought about the interview that they had on Kelly Priest channel. You out? Yeah, shit, right? You know, listen. I'm making. Mecca Divine Wisdom said, "What's the medicine room?" The medicine room is Instagram. AllahChrist food. You know, this is. I'm on location right now at the G building. You know, cause you came on fairly recently, so you were you know you've missed the real episodes that we've had here, but actually, Queen, I'm right now I'm contemplating going to pharmacy school. What do you call that? Where you go to school so that I can administer. Some psychotic medications over here. You know, it's needed. You said, wouldn't it be the original man who made the orientation with the colored man? No, that's why it's an inter-orientation. See, like what you know, the way it's used a lot of times is the way how all on the business was defining it. Like when you go to a new job, right? Or you go to a new school or something, right? The first day, they often call it orientation when you come in. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to that kind of orientation, they just talk to you. Inter-orientation, they was talking. So now both people had expectations of each other. You see what I'm saying? And you can see it in you know, just the way the the African leaders kind of expected equality. You know what I mean? They expected the interorientations to be upheld. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, they're joining Christianity and Islam, for instance, right? Because now they're under the impression that, okay, now these new brothers that I rock with or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We brothers in this thing called Christ or whatever, so I'm not expecting them to come and kidnap my family. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's entry. Yeah, Mecca Divine Wisdom. This is the question time right now. I went on my little rant. In the beginning, and then we detoured through I guess a discussion on masonry. I don't have too much to add on to those conversations. So yeah, right now we're in the part of the show where if anybody has any questions in general or about what I built on today, we winding down through that. You say here, all you need is a medical administration class like they do for group homes for children and the developmentally disabled. Yeah, that is something, son. That, I don't know if it's me, you know what I'm saying? But it does seem like medicine is being administered by some people that, for me personally, I don't take medicine. So, I need to know your qualifications. You know what I'm saying? Like when they be saying, like, it's all this stuff, like say when they talk about, the mandate and you got to take the jab and all of that, right? It's like, yo, dude, I don't know if I don't do it, but I'm saying what they telling people, like, listen, saying, if I'm gonna get it, I'm going to motherfucking NYU, something, saying. Like, I'm not going to fucking CVS, for somebody's cousin to fucking inject me with no motherfucking experimental shit. I don't understand that. Oh, I'm cursing so much today. But yeah, I'm not going to Dwayne Reed to take no, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. You gotta take my blood pressure or something first. How that works? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You take my temperature at night? I don't know. Has anybody seen this done before? Has anyone seen this? Like, how does it work? Not afraid from the Providence plantations. Because out here in New York, they got people with just a truck. There's people with just a truck parked there, just right there on the street. They park right there on the street. They giving out the shot. I don't know. Do they have their diploma hanging up in there? Like, you go to the doctor and say, Harvard, Yale, wherever they went. I think I want to see that before you know what I'm saying. like I said, I generally don't take medicine, so I don't have a protocol for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You going to the halal cart, you going over here, to the halal cart, ordering chicken over rice in a jab. Where's you? Like, am I bugging or does that sound a little bit funny? Like, that's what I'm saying? Is that normal? Like, am I blowing it out of proportion? Like, y'all about to say, well, it's not like they doing brain surgery on the side of the road, but I don't know if that's cool. Yeah, I heard Cole Powell was fully, he's supposed to be fully protected. I mean, at this level, man, all I can say is, look, they don't know what they talking about. I know that sounds simple, but look, they don't know what they talking about. So you got to go on now yourself. Like, I guess, like if you're a sickly person, you know what I'm saying? You're like, you like, see me, I don't remember having a cold last year. I don't remember having a cold the year before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, but like, if you're a person that, look, you catch the flu every year, twice, you know what I'm saying? That's the knowledge of yourself. You know what I mean? So in that situation, you might be, all right, yo, I'm extra susceptible to that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, with me, I'm talking about, look, every blue moon, when I do go to the doctor, right? And they ask you stuff like, yo, do you have any medicine that you're allergic to? I don't know. I've never really been sick. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've never, I take tetanus shots. But that's not really being sick. I mean, I had pneumonia. I've never, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that stuff. Naked Divine Wizard said, I'm going back to school for herbalism. And with that knowledge, maybe I can teach prevention and maintenance. I'm just telling you, we need the most powerful doses that listen. So you being you're going to be the herbalist all the way where you mix your own concoctions, right? I need maximum strength, everything. If you don't believe me, I'm just telling you, stay tuned. Stay tuned. And you're going to see why I need to be administering the maximum dose here at the G building, where they need to be taking all types of medicine. Eric Green said it's all fun and games till somebody shoot an air bubble at somebody. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you have an emergency? What if you have an emergency, episode, whatever it might be? Like, some people just pass the fuck out from getting shot. And some people just pass the fuck out. I ain't sure. You know what it could be? It could be when they take blood. I ain't sure, but I know some people just pass the fuck out. Now I'm saying, you know, if I play football, when I used to play sports, they have medical personnel there in case something happens. You know, you got, you know, you play basketball, it's a medic on the sidelines or something, you know what I mean? You know, do they have that when you get the shots at see, I don't know how it works. I don't even go in the pharmacy section. Get out of here. Reveal said a player from the Atlanta Hawks is out for the year due to complications for the job. Was told to stay quiet. So is he staying quiet? Brandon Goodwin, yeah, let me check that out. Former Atlanta. Hold on, let's see if we can do how we do. Okay, so that should be coming up right there. Former Atlanta Hawks guard Brandon Goodwin claims COVID-19 vaccine ended his season. Goodwin left nothing up to the imagination to his Twitch audience recently. Former Atlanta Hawks point guard Brandon Goodwin's season ended early last year due to a minor respiratory condition, according to a team report this past week. The Hawks went on a deep postseason run to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the team decided not to bring the Norcross graduate back after drafting Sharif Cooper and signing DeLon Wright. Yeah, I thought he was about to say Delonte Wright. I was like, Delonte made a comeback? I was just like, look, because look, you don't go for where Delonte was back in the NBA. But shout out to Delonte, man. I hope he's doing good, man. You know, he seemed like a good dude. He's had problems, you know what I'm saying? Recently on a Twitch stream, Goodwin revealed his side of the story, and it all starts with him receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. I got sick and I never quite recovered from it. I would always have back pain. I was just super tired in the games. Goodwin used Atlanta's back-to-back against Philadelphia 76ers on April 28th and April 30th as an example. Bro, I was so tired, I felt like I couldn't run up and down the court. My back was hurting. My back really started hurting bad. Then I'm like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. That's when I found out I had blood clots. That's all within the span of a month. Goodwin then left nothing up to the imagination when he revealed what he believed caused the health issues. I was fine until then. I was fine up until I took the vaccine. I was fine. Blood clots have been reported as rare side effects of Johnson & Johnson's Janssen COVID-19 vaccine, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Women under the age of 50 are advised to remain cautious about the rare but increased risk of developing a blood clot for the J&J vaccine. The CDC says a risk that has not been seen in other vaccine options. People trying to tell you, no, it's the vaccine. How do you know? Or people trying to tell you, no, it's not the vaccine. How do you know? You don't know. And seemingly another Twitch streaming clip Same link as above. Goodwin doubled down on his belief the vaccine causes health issues. Yes, the vaccine ended my season 1,000%. Well, I know y'all might not want to hear this, you know what I mean? VC realm, it's we can already sense the hate coming from your side of the room. But Brandon Goodwin has just signed with the New York Knicks. So shout out to Brandon Goodwin. Wild stuff though. Wild stuff. Yeah, so yeah, really, Oh, get out of here. Delonte is doing basketball camps. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, so saying that's fantastic, man. And not only did he brought himself back, you know what I'm saying, but he's you know what I'm saying, the way he's adding on with the youth right there. You know what I'm saying? Mark Cuban helped him out. Man, hey, shout out to Mark Cuban too, man. Shout out to Mark Cuban too. Phrase say he's not allergic to nothing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not allergic to nothing in nature, but I'm not sure what they got. Yeah, I'm not like allergic to no type of plants or no shit like that, but you say, Divine, there's an article titled Unvaccinated Are Looking Smarter and Smarter Every Week. We'll see. Yeah, but that's dope though, man. You know what I'm saying? That he's doing the basketball camps now, you know what I'm saying? And then especially because he got a lot of experience now, you know what I'm saying, in terms of being a star player and going to the NBA, as well as, you know what I'm saying, he can tell them about love, hell, all right. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real good position for him, you know what I mean? And just something where, because when you deal with the young, like you can see the progress and everything, you know what I'm saying? So it's something that's likely to keep him focused in the right direction. Yeah, to my knowledge, interpretation, you have educated brothers that decide that this is not a word. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a lot of different things, the lessons that you got, but mine says interorientation. Yeah, he rode the roller coaster of love, hell, and right. You know what I'm saying? Love, hell, and right. Well, yeah, love, hell, and right for him. But it's if that could happen, not that everybody go do that. You know what I'm saying? But just, if every person, you know what I'm saying, was just out there, doing something like that, like I said, you ain't gotta be Malcolm X, you don't gotta save the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you're talking about the world and you want to come to Mecca and do all this, and you got kids in your house you ain't teaching. you know. It's got to be balanced inside and outside. Now, as one said, for a lot of brothers, the only way to come back is by dealing with the youth. Shit, that ain't for a lot of brothers, that's for everybody. If you don't deal with the youth and the youth ain't deal with you, even if you doing good, that'd just be a blip in the radar. You would just be some nigga that used to live in that house down there at the corner that had a little bit of money, but yeah, now I don't know what happened to him. So, you know, we've had a good class here today. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that made it this far, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button. You know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know, make sure to share this on your other pages, your Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, text messages, however you do it, Instagram. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Medicine Cabinet has already been closed out, and we're going to sign off right now. In the meantime, in between time, from the G building, and say peace.